So, what really separates a good leader from a truly great one? Well, the legendary strategist Sun Tzu said it wasn't just about winning battles, but about mastering 5 key virtues. Today, we're going to break down that timeless wisdom and see what it truly means to lead.
Okay, let's just dive right in by tackling a really famous moment in history. The fall of the incredible warrior Guan Yu and the loss of the crucial territory of Jingzhou. Now, it's often chalked up to a single moment of carelessness, but our source material here says, hold on, it's way deeper than that.
You see, this wasn't just some tactical blunder. No, this was a character flaw, a weakness that his rival Sun Quan saw and exploited brilliantly. The loss of Jingzhou was no accident. It was a strategic takedown, a masterclass that hinged on understanding one man's specific weakness.
And that brings us right to Sun Tzu's framework. He lays out these 5 core virtues that he believes every single leader has to have: wisdom, sincerity, benevolence, courage, and strictness. So let's explore what each of these actually means when the pressure's on.
First up is wisdom, or Ji. And Sun Tzu puts this one first for a very good reason. It's basically the engine of leadership. This isn't just about being book smart. It's about foresight, about seeing the whole chessboard, and most importantly, understanding people. It's the CEO who sees a market shift years before anyone else even has a clue.
Just look at how Sun Quan used wisdom like a weapon here. He knew Guan Yu was incredibly proud, so he dangled a marriage alliance just to get under his skin. And when Guan Yu took the bait, throwing out a huge insult, Sun Quan knew the trap was set. Then he pulls this genius move, swapping a top general for some young rookie who then sends a letter just full of flattery. Guan Yu's ego just inflated, he felt totally untouchable, so he moved his troops away, leaving Jingzhou wide open. It was a perfect trap, sprung by understanding one man's pride. That is wisdom in action.
Let's move on to the second virtue, sincerity, or Sin. Think of this as the absolute bedrock of leadership. It's trust. It means your word is your bond, and that creates the foundation where your bosses give you freedom to act and your team follows you without question.
And what's really amazing is how timeless this is. This isn't just some ancient military ideal. Modern surveys, done all over the world, consistently show that over 80% of people rank honesty and sincerity as the single most important quality in a leader. The battlefield has changed, for sure, but our human need for leaders we can trust, not one bit.
The third virtue is benevolence, or Ran. This is really the heart of leadership. It's a genuine care for your people. In today's world, you could think of it as creating psychological safety, where your team just knows their leader has their back no matter what. That creates a kind of fierce loyalty that you just can't demand.
Sun Tzu himself put it perfectly. This isn't about being soft. It's about forging an unbreakable bond. A benevolent leader builds a team that will go the extra mile, not because they have to, but because they genuinely want to, for the mission and for each other.
Okay, now we come to courage, Young. And to really get what this virtue is all about, we're going to leave the history books behind. We're stepping onto a real battlefield through a raw, first-hand story from the author of our source material, General Xu Guoan.
So picture this. It's 1979 during the Sino-Vietnamese War. An enemy squad is dug into a cave on a hillside, and they've got the general's unit pinned down, inflicting heavy casualties. The situation is absolutely desperate.
The general was the designated flamethrower operator at the time, but there was a massive problem. A huge rock blocked the entrance to the cave, so he couldn't get a direct shot from cover. To use the weapon, he'd have to get dangerously close, exposing himself completely to enemy fire. It was basically a suicide mission.
In a moment like that, there's no room for some clever, complex plan. All the strategy books go out the window. It all came down to one simple, terrifying fact. Someone had to leave cover and make that final advance, and that someone was him.
He turned to his assistant, Zhang Liujin, and gave him the only order that mattered. If I die, you take over. This is the raw essence of courage. It's not about not being scared. It's about accepting the ultimate risk for the sake of the mission and for the people next to you.
So he just went for it. He held his breath and moved 7, maybe 8 steps in total silence. And unbelievably, the enemy never saw him. He sprinted to the side of the cave, dropped, and just unleashed 3 blasts of fire. His assistant rushed up and fired 3 more. And just like that, the fight for that cave was over.
After that intense life-or-death moment, we arrive at our final virtue, strictness, or Yan. And it might seem like a strange follow-up to courage, but it's a crucial balance. Courage wins battles, but it's strictness and discipline that builds an organization that can win entire wars.
Mao Zedong's early forces were a scattered, undisciplined mess. So he introduced this strict, non-negotiable code of conduct. Really simple rules, like return what you borrow, pay for what you break. But this did more than just instill discipline. It built a reputation. It's the foundation of a strong culture, where clear standards create trust, both inside and outside the group.
So, from the mind games of ancient China all the way to a harrowing firefight in Vietnam, these 5 virtues just keep proving themselves essential. They are as relevant today, right now, as they were centuries and centuries ago.
And the most important thing to remember is that this isn't some checklist, it's a complete system. They all have to work together. You need wisdom for the strategy, sincerity for the trust, benevolence for the morale, courage for the action, and strictness for the order. If you're missing even one, the whole thing can just fall apart.
And that leaves us with one final thought. In the challenges that you're facing right now, at work, in your community, in your own life, which of these 5 timeless virtues is the one you need to focus on the most?